Yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
The world's just changed so radically, and we're all running to catch up. How can we possibly have the slightest idea of what to expect? The best intentions. Some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best intentions.
Dr. Malcolm, we have to share a few campfire stories with my uncle.
You can convince the Washington Post and the Skeptical Inquirer of whatever you want. But I was there, I know what happened, and so do you.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Hello, welcome to episode 56 of Jurassic Minutes, the June/July issue. We're late, where we discuss recent movie, toy and franchise news for the Jurassic series. I'm Brad.
And Dave.
And on this, hopefully not too long episode, we've got Mattel with more surprises this month. There's been more revealed about Jurassic Park Survival, and Jurassic 7's production has been roaring ahead. At the time of this recording, we might even have the new title for it too, but we'll discuss that later on in the episode. But first, Dave, we've both been purchasing some stuff. Quickly, I think last episode I mentioned I'd pre-ordered the Retro 7 game release for the Switch. I've got that now and played a little bit, but I haven't had time to get too far into it. But from what I've seen, yeah, it's the SNES and Super Nintendo games for sure. And as hard as they were, but that's what I've got, and I hope I'll play a bit more of them before we get back on here and talk. But one thing I think we're going to talk about in the news, toy related, you've picked up already, so may as well talk about it here. The JP Classic Bush Devil Tracker with T-Rex.
Yeah. It comes with the T-Rex, the Bush Devil Tracker. It's not the exact one from 93, but I mean, I'll be danged if it's not pretty close. It's even got the exact same number as the one from 93 did.
Wait,
and
is this the classic 93 line, or is it the Canon one? Is it the new one?
No, this is the 93. No, yeah, this is the new one.
Oh, the new one, yeah.
It got out there fast.
Yeah. Yep.
I was surprised how fast, when they said that it was shipping like July 1st, I'm like, wow, really? But yeah, then it comes with Mr. Arnold with dirt bike gear with like retro weird dino themed dirt bike armor.
Yeah, that is weird. I've just got pictures up of it here now. As I was going to say when we talked about it in the news, but it definitely looks a lot better here in hand out of the box. Last news episode we were talking about it was only seen in the box, and that's all we could discuss about it, but that looks great here, and you've got it in hand now. That nice yellow paint on the T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
The capture gear.
Looks really good. Just the paint, it looks just like it did from the, the Series 2 T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
The sculpt's real cool. The only thing different is the head sculpt. The body sculpt is still the same as the regular breakout T-Rex, but I mean, like, the teeth are individual and they're rubberized, so it's kind of like a semi-soft rubber, kind of similar to a Thrasher T-Rex teeth.
Okay, yep.
So it's pretty nice because like they're all individualized, so it's like teeth on a comb in a way.
All the more better for picking up and eating humans, the human figures. No, they've done a real good job on that Rex. Ray Arnold, it just goes straight back to that 93, well, even the 90s toy lines where, yeah, they didn't look much like their on-screen counterparts, both physical and by looks. But here we've sort of got a bit of a more Ray Arnold looking face sculpt on the figure. But
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they took the Ray Arnold head sculpt from the Comic-Con exclusive figure that we got, and just put just made it like a new body for him.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, he's even got a bald spot on top of his head. Sorry, I haven't really had a chance to look it over today. I've been out running errands most of the day, so I'm kind of finally sitting down and playing with these things.
No, that's all right. It's very similar to what they've done with the Nedry that we've got in that the new 93 line as well. Or should I say the ending 93 line?
Yeah. The Nedry one is hilarious because it's Nedry's head sculpt on like this super jacked body. It's like almost like one of the Power of the Force line bodies with Wayne Knight's face on there. Like his like really excessively heavy 90s face, not current Wayne Knight either.
Yeah, yep.
Because he lost a lot of weight.
Yep, he did. And have you been on eBay looking for stickers?
Yeah, I have. So there's like among the myriad of various off-the-wall things that they merchandise out for the first movie was bumper stickers for. Yeah, they're just kind of Jurassic Park themed. Various. One was I think Visit Jurassic, and then they had the Jurassic Park logo on the side, and then another one was a tan one that said Camp Jurassic or something like that, and then just a couple like there are various oddball kind of things. So I got that, and then I've been kind of hunting for those for a while because it's just for the graphics on them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them I actually swapped out the name Jurassic Park on the logo and replaced it with Jurassicpedia.
Oh, nice.
And made that our header on Pedia.
Oh, yes, I've seen that the other day. Yeah, that looks real good. That new logo.
Mm-hmm. So that was a lot of fun playing around with.
Yeah, as you're saying, the amount of that sort of extra marketing stuff, even aside from the stationery and all that sort of things as well. As you said, bumper stickers there. We know about the sheets with the puffy or the 3D sort of stickers on them. With a lot of that sort of stuff as well. It's just so much, and then they just took it up another notch for the Lost World. And a lot of it's still fairly easy accessible out there on eBay or various other places.
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily this seller had all 5 that I'd been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a couple other ones out there still I've yet to find, but I found most of them, and so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, very nice. Quickly looking at Jurassic-Pedia.com, you've had a post-op over this last week, or last fortnight I should say, because of when this is coming out, celebrating the release of the anniversary of Jurassic Park 3 23 years ago, being released in Jurassic-Pedia.com, and you're doing it through Behind the Gates as well. We're posting up some behind-the-scenes goodies, photos and that from production of the film.
Yeah, we did. One of the nice things about these anniversaries is it always kind of gets people who worked on the movie and kind of brings them out to post some of the stuff that we've never seen before. Like, for example, we had Rodolfo Demaggio post up some stuff that he worked on Jurassic Park 3 up on ArtStation. And so there's one here that has, it's a character sheet with the various characters. So you got Alan Grant and some of the earlier script names for some of the other characters. You got Billy's still the same. Cooper's still the same. A pilot who I assume became Nash is here. Then you have Paul Roby instead of Kirby. His in this script, I think the mom wasn't in the picture at all. He had a new girlfriend called Susan, which was a point of contention between Eric and Paul in the movie. But in this script, Eric was still Miles.
Yeah.
We also had some final, storyboard art. So we have which I think is the first time it's been revealed, the storyboard for the Pteranodon attacking the helicopters, which it would not. It's funny, this has been storyboarded twice and never made it to screen, and only finally made it to screen in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
And then a storyboard for Nedry fighting back against the raptors with a stick, which is cool because we know that scene was filmed, but we've never actually seen what's in it before, and it's just a quick 3 panels. It's it shows Nedry picking up a stick, swinging it at a raptor. Another raptor comes from behind, attacks his back, and then he's laying on the ground as we see him in the movie.
Yeah, I think when we covered those minutes, it's that scene was still in the junior novelisation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But you mean Udesky, not Nedry. Too much Nedry talk. But yeah, this is some great.
And then, of course, we also have a stampede here for, I guess, the stampede scene in the movie was originally slated in the original script to be a part of the scene when the helicopters arrive, because we got a scene here with the stampede, and there's sauropods and Gallimimus and Kylosaurs and Parasaurolophus and Triceratops, but just Stegosaurus. Yeah, just a whole bunch of them. They look like they got spooked by the Black Hawk and Apache helicopters flying overhead.
Yeah, which would have been completely
really cool.
different.
It's interesting that that there's sauropods in the stampede scene, which aren't in the final movie. It's strange how little we've had. We've never really had a sauropod really stomping anything or anybody, which is like their main defense as animals is their size. And we know from fossils that sauropods stepped on things all the time, either by accident or on purpose.
And again, a carryover from The Lost World, we had the Mamentusaurs, well, mating, but stomping around as well in one of them early shooting scripts as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just again, herbivores being dangerous. Herbivores are dangerous, but we don't get a lot of that in the film. It would have been a good sort of final, especially being into the trilogy and no new Jurassic for a while, sort of last hurrah of seeing these herbivores again on the island. Maybe not as peaceful as they were when the plane flew over at the start, but being able to get one last look at all these animals as they ran past the humans. But also interesting here too, they got the Kirby on the crane sequence with the Spinosaur in the river that we get at the end, which only got changed late. Because again, in the juvenile novelisation, like it was Grant. I can't remember which it was now. There was a script anyway of Grant climbing the ladder and using the resonating chamber to call the raptors in, and the raptors attacked the Spinosaur, and that's what made him escape. Because that whole thing, all that changed a few times before the final thing was filmed. But this here is pretty much play for play of Paul on the crane, the Spinosaur trying to knock him off, and then him getting flung, like we get in the final film. So this might have been some of the last storyboards that he done for the film anyway, which just goes to show how long he must have been working on it if he was still doing concept art with the different people and Miles and that on one side, and then the crane and river sequence on the other, which was changed late.
Well, the sequence here of Eric getting kidnapped by the Pteranodon and then rescued by Billy with the hang glider is pretty much shot for shot for the final film as well. Yeah.
Which they could have been done. They could have just started filming that, going off that, even though they didn't, because there's not much dialogue in the whole scene. Because we knew they were writing script notes and dialogue while they were on set. Anyway, but again, just it's great to see this stuff come out. It's sort of coming out more and more frequently. We haven't had a lot of stuff for JP3 aside from what we got in the not the script book, whatever the free part or the free movie.
Visual history.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the new stuff we got in that. And Dan from Stuck on Sauna with that podcast, he's been interviewing a lot of people, and they've sort of realising that there's interest here back in the franchise again with the movie they worked on, as you're saying at the start. So hopefully we see more of this stuff sort of released as we move on, and as the hype for the new film picks up as well.
Yeah. But just looking at this concept art of the characters again, it's interesting how I remember when I first saw this, I noted how interesting it is that Paul and Susan are kind of more dressed for adventure. It's like they're wearing khaki pants and Susan's wearing hiking boots. Looks like Paul Kirby's wearing some kind of construction boots. Whereas in the movie, they're kind of like upper middle class suburbanites completely out of their element. You know? I mean, here they actually look kind of like they're prepared for adventure, whereas in the movie, they're, like I said, they're completely unprepared for walking around in the jungle.
Well, I suppose it depends when this... what sort of script stage is this concept art being done for? Because this Grant here doesn't look like he's the Robin Crusoe living on sauna studying raptors like we know that was in one script. Mm-hmm. Then they decide to have... We got the pilot here and that, so they've obviously decided to go for the plane crash sort of side of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny because the art here of Grant kind of looks like it was referenced directly from the first... from his intro scene in the first movie. He's wearing the same kind of colored flannels with the jeans and the boots and the straw hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is just lucky, I suppose, because all he knew he was going to be in the aircraft, being a tour guide from the aircraft and not actually having to trek through the island. Which I suppose you could explain in a way why Paul and Amanda are dressed the way they are in the final film as well, but surely they would have known. Udesky was all kitted up as if they were going to have to land and get out of the plane at some stage.
All right, so why me?
He said we needed someone who'd been on the island before.
Yes, but I did not tell you to kidnap somebody.
I have never been on this island.
Sure you have. You wrote that book.
That was Isla Nublar. This is Isla Sorna. Site B.
You mean there are two islands with dinosaurs?
All right, you stay out.
Moving into the news now and some Mattel toy stuff. Again, very late on this, but coming out for Jurassic June and just ahead of Comic-Con. The new exclusive this year is a Jimmy Buffett figure. Jimmy Buffett comes in a margarita glass with the frost, the salt around it, and some little Dimorphodons pecking at his heels. It's great. It's great. I'll never be able to source it without paying too much on eBay, but especially with him passing away at the end of last year, it's fantastic. Yeah. And if you can get it, I reckon it'd look fantastic on your shelf.
Well, I heard that it's going up on Mattel Creations on
yes.
Let's see, July 25th here, so that's going to be soon.
Yeah, I know there's been some stuff that's been able to get here from Mattel Creations as well, so yeah, maybe I might be able to get it. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collector Jurassic doesn't mention it here, but I heard that like the proceeds are, and yeah, it says here, our friend Terry Davis posted that the money will be donated to Buffett's charity Singing for Change.
Is that a percentage, or is that the whole $30 per figure?
I assume a percentage.
Yeah.
It's saying in honor, we'll donate $5,000 and 5,000 toys.
Yep. Okay.
To Singing for Change.
Nice.
So buying this does benefit charity.
Yeah. Yeah. And the one good thing, as long as you're not trying to find it on the second-hand market, these Comic-Con exclusives. Pretty cheap for what they are, $30 for a human figure. I'm guessing in the sort of legacy / Hammond Collection scale. It doesn't. Well, yeah, I'd assume it's Hammond Collection size, but there's some nice box art there too, with him.
It is
on Nublar running during with these two margaritas in his hand.
Say it here, but I know that previously the Mattel Creations have included sounds, and I'm just thinking it would be great if they included clips from Cheeseburger in Paradise, Margaritaville, of course, and Volcano. Just for Fallen Kingdom.
Well, it does say here, yeah, lights and sounds. Apparently, it's got music and the sounds of a margarita blender, which
Yeah.
I don't know how that'd go on a little sound chip if it'd sound like a blender, if it would be just static or harsh noise. But
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
no,
Kind of came out
that's
sounding more like a pneumatic drill.
yeah, no, that's fantastic. We've talked about the T-Rex off-road tracker. Jurassic World Reimagined, as I hinted to earlier, Legacy Collection and the 93 Classic lines are both coming to a close. I think that T-Rex attack set you've just picked up is the last thing out of the 93 Classic line. I'm guessing the T-Rex and the Mercedes was the last thing that Legacy Collection did. So there's no more there. But this Jurassic World Reimagined is said, where was it? To sort of be a combination of the two toy lines. So I know you posted up on Pedia the fresher T-Rex in its, or a new fresher T-Rex in its classic Lost World box art.
Yeah, with that Thrasher thing, what I did was I ended up taking some various, what I guess you could call them, not digital assets, but they're like the little box art, like the text boxes and the fonts and stuff like that I had saved around, that I had scanned off of other boxes, and took a picture of my repaint of the Hammond Collection T-Rex in the bold T-Rex colors, and kind of built a Lost World themed box around it, and it ended up looking pretty cool. If you want to see it, I did post it up on Jurassicpedia, the Facebook page.
Yep. No, that looked great, and just how much. Well, it's great. A lot of the legacy stuff we've got up to date or up to now has been Lost World themed. Not really Lost World themed box art. I'd love to see that yellow and the caution and Site B, DX
Same.
tag and release, all that sort of stuff redone on the new figures.
That's one of the things I'm hoping to see from Jurassic World Reimagined is an expansion on the 93 Classic line to include the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. And with like the Lost World packaging, get that classic jungle green with the with like the caution tape and stuff, and then Jurassic Park 3, get that cracked volcanic rock with the caution tape.
But do the original figure first before you do the Wave 2 or Series 2. If they reveal an RV and it's turquoise, blue, black, wild violet or purple, sort of some sort of Series 2, or like that, I think it was a Night Attack Raptor that came out for Jurassic Park.
RV.
Yeah. If you do that first and not the actual classic, I'll be upset.
Yeah. Oh, what you were describing kind of reminded me of the Pimp My RV they did for Jurassic Park 3.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
sorry, the Chaos Theory.
Yeah.
Or Chaos Effect, I mean.
Yeah. So, they've said it's going to be all new line of dinosaurs, human characters, and vehicles that span the entire franchise. So, that 93 classic line sort of was shoehorned into Jurassic only. At least this, hopefully, will get more stuff from the other films as well. And being part Legacy Collection, for the most part, a lot of the Legacy Collection stuff has been really good, especially the Lost World stuff. But
well, it also ran a lot longer than anybody really expected it to. Mattel kind of really got their money's worth out of it. It was only supposed to tie into the 30th anniversary, and ended up lasting all the way until halfway through 2024.
Yeah.
So that lasted like a full year longer than it was intended to.
Yep.
Which was really nice to see because we got some really good stuff out of it.
Yeah. So most of the other toy reveals for this month have pretty much been all Chaos Theory double packs. Normally the character and an animal. All the Chaos Theory stuff looks great. But it's not really something I'm after or into purchasing. So I haven't got any specific ones here to discuss. Was there anything Chaos Theory you're looking at to pick up? Or have you had a bit of a look at some of the stuff?
Kind of. I've seen some of it in stores, but it's kind of all been the same thing.
Yep.
And nothing's really hit my eye yet.
Yep. All right. Something that has definitely hit both of our eyes. Dino Dream. You've got some Dino Dream stuff already, haven't you?
Yes, I do. I have the T-Rex in the cage.
Yes, that's what I was coming from. I knew I heard the name before.
What's up?
I knew I heard of him before, but yeah, I was just couldn't remember exactly what it was.
He has been kind of in the fandom for quite a while, and it's really cool because some of the stuff he's done is really niche, but really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
He was like one of the first people to ever start doing the replicas of the Lost World T-Rex maquette, which I had then received from somebody else doing their own versions. Milan Lovato was doing his own versions.
Yep.
And like he's done other maquette replicas, and now I think he actually got licensed. So he's actually doing this stuff under license from Universal.
Well, yeah, this one's got Universal and Amblin licensing copyright on the thing, and what it is, we should get to what it is. The classic Tiger Raptor in the glass or in the window from the gas station from Lost World. Some nice bits of glass shard there, still in place and on the ground. On a base, what have we got? It's in centimeters, so apologies for the US. 18 centimeters high, and then the base is 20 centimeters wide and 16 centimeters deep. So
He's got a person here holding it in their hand to show you in scale in hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's actually fairly decent sized. It's I would say maybe like the base is probably about 2 hand widths wide, which is a fairly decent size.
Yeah. Yep. But that makes the Raptor a little bit smaller. It is smaller than the what Raptor was that we got? Was that Prime? That wasn't Prime One. Iron Studios.
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, so it's a little bit smaller than that one. It does say here 1/15 scale. But the Raptor itself, the colour on this looks fantastic. I really love the head sculpt. Just trying to get another photo here because that just in some photos looks like that bottom jaw sticks a little bit further forward, like he's got a little bit of an underbite. But I think that's alright. I think it's just the angle that it was filmed. But
Dino
this is
Dream's
great.
kind of known for his accuracy, though. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's actually any kind of underbite.
Yeah, no.
This thing looks absolutely amazing. It was one of the fastest pre-orders I've ever put on one of these.
It's so good. The colours, everything there.
Mm-hmm.
I need to. What did it have a price listed on the website? How much it is?
Yes. So the website that Dino Dream sells through is called Lana Time Shop, LANA timeshop.com. And so he's got like his full thing up there. He's got the compies that he did, the Pteranodon, the 115 Pteranodon maquette that he does, the T-Rex and Raptor maquettes, replicas that he does. He's got a 130 scale baby T-Rex. And this price, it's $169.99 US dollars. When with shipping, I think it was $40 shipping, which is kind of steep, but I mean it's beautiful. I don't mind paying it. Well, I think the full price came out to be about $200 in when I checked it out. And
well, at least you know it's going to turn up in one piece too. It's not like buying something off Amazon and have them just ship it in the box and no bubble wrap or nothing, and then the box has been stood on. So, also, did they have a release timetable? When are you expecting the pre-orders to be done on this?
November 2024, and as in my experience, that's usually pretty on the dot.
Yep.
So, if you're ordering Christmas presents for November, This is probably a good way to sneak that into your house. That's how I sneak stuff in all the time. Oh yeah, that's a Christmas present. Yeah, that totally is a Christmas present.
Yep. Well, and that'll suit too because we were emailed by Prime One Studios, I think last month or the month before, with our T-Rex Cliff Attack diorama sets that we've pre-ordered from their issue of production have been delayed. That's all fair and good, but I got back to them to say, well, okay, it's delayed. That's fair and good. Do you have a rough idea of when they're going to be coming? Just because I'm going to have to pay shipping, import tax, all that good stuff on top of the final payment as well, and they reckon it should definitely be ready to go the first quarter of next year. So that'll still give you time to purchase the Raptor in the window and pay for the shipping on it too.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that too.
Yep. But this is great. And are they a resin figure? Are they polystone? How are they
polystone,
created?
I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a little bit of weight to them as well, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, this is fantastic, and
I think they'd actually be heavier if they're resin.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm just thinking back in the day, all the resin Star Trek ships and that, they used to sag because of the weight and the cells and that, which wasn't the best for people collecting that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is fantastic. I'm going to go and pre-order this, or see if it's still available for pre-order as soon as we finish here, because I've been slow at it, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll be talking about it in hand.
Our DNA excavators discover new species every year, but consumers want them bigger, louder, more teeth. The good news?
Looking at Jurassic Park Survival briefly, it still seems to be coming, even though there's been issues behind the scenes with Saber Interactive being sold and bought and everything else. There's been a couple of articles that have come out about it. There's been some interviews with some of the developers working behind the scenes. Again, and we'll talk about this when we get to the film as well, people talking about how much they love Jurassic and being able to work on Jurassic's fantastic and everything else. We've got some new, I was going to say set pics, but sort of in-game art of several different locations. The main character, Nimi, what was, I can't remember. I knew it started with N, but rafting down the river jungle stream with some raptors either side on the banks in pursuit, which we're finally getting the jungle river on screen, more so than what we got in JP3 anyway.
I know that some people have been complaining about the raptors themselves being Jurassic World design assets. But if, for example, if you look at this one with the character rafting in the river with the raptors on either side of her, those ones I think are various statues that have been photoshopped into the image. So these are the one that says alpha in-game screenshot. The other one with the raft is concept art. But I'm fairly sure that this will probably be changed by the end of the movie, or by release.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's one here that shows concept art of the radio bunker, which I think we might have mentioned already, but it's really cool. It's got bits of moss and vines and stuff starting to grow into the cracks, which is very reminiscent of the what was happening in Jurassic Park in the very first movie. You could see vines starting to grow in between
the wall
the
that
cracks
Tim
in
and
the
Lex
concrete.
scale to get away from the T-Rex in the breakout sequence, even there. And I think you posted a photo up of it when these photos come out of just the grass and wherever there's a crack where a bit of dirt can get into, nature's going to start coming back. But buried a lead here too, the radio bunker. We'd speculated, we had the design schematics that had come out some time ago, just after Fallen Kingdom, with the Jurassic Park asset or logo, construction, whatever it was, logo on it. wondering whether or not it was an actual Jurassic Park era building and not something Jurassic World. This is pretty much confirming that that radio bunker we've seen in Fallen Kingdom and other bunkers we know they built but never filmed were Jurassic Park era. We've got the Jeep in front of it here. This one labelled A1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was anything on the building in Fallen Kingdom, but that could have easily worn away, or they've just taken it off because it meant something else in Fallen Kingdom. But
or it could have been like just faded away, you know?
Yeah, yep. And this, as I said before, the developers, the people working behind the scenes, how much they love the film. Even the Mr. DNA theatre. Yeah, you mentioned the Jurassic World version of the Raptors, but I think just being able to walk around, I hope you can just open map this island, Nublar, and just walk around, jump in a Jeep, drive to that radio bunker, and I hope there's not a paywall or something you have to pay to do it, like there was with Evolution, but yeah, or you're having to do certain tasks, but the more and more I see and hear this game is getting really excited, and there's no way it will get cancelled now, surely.
Oh, I hope not. I so hope not. Because there's another screenshot here of the T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
She's out of focus, and it's behind a log. It looks kind of like a first-person view. It's described as an in-game screenshot. It looks amazing. And I actually ended up making this my desktop background because it looks so amazing.
Even though it's just a game, just squatting down behind this log or whatever it is, her out of focus, whether you're looking or the camera drops down, pans down to see the character looking at you, panting or whimpering or whatever, and just hearing those soft footfalls as she's getting closer. That's great.
You're hearing that alligator grumble.
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
This is almost like you could end up making one of those YouTube analog horror videos out of this, you know?
But even just like this, turn the lights off, have a decent sound system behind it, and you're there. We're no longer are we sitting there looking down at an 8-bit pixelated Alan Grant shooting fireballs at raptors. Like, this is, you're on Nublar, you're there, you're driving the Jeep, you've got Rexy hunting you, really, or stalking you. That's scary as hell. And the only thing that'd be worse is if there was a second T-Rex and you were on sauna, but that's hopefully something that's coming down the line in a couple of years' time. We'll see how this one goes.
It's the T-Rex you don't see that you need to worry about.
Yes.
What the hell? What now? Fences are failing all over the park.
Find Landry. Check the vending machines.
Moving into movie news now, we're going to stay spoiler-free here. There's been a lot of behind-the-scenes or on-set leaks, photos taken. I think one of the persons that was taking some photos got fired from set. So there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. Funnily enough, the day we record this, and by the time you hear it, it's going to be a week later, or a couple of days later, so it's not going to be new news, but the new title, or there's been a trademark patent put forward by Amblin and Universal. Let that idiot go past. New trademark for Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, a lot of the news, a lot of the clickbait sites, a lot of people are jumping to this could be the title for our new movie that's coming out in under a year's time. If you go and actually check the trademark, it does mention digital media, DVDs and video cassettes. I don't know why I'd still mention video cassettes in 2024, but music, pretty much discs featuring news, entertainment, sports, comedy, drama, music, variety content. pre-recorded CDs, so there's your soundtrack sort of stuff. This might not be, considering it's Jurassic World. If we didn't have the news about Jurassic World Reimagined, the toy line, I nearly would have said this might have something toy-related. But if we jump on the bandwagon with everyone else to say, rightio, Jurassic World Rebirth is the name of the new film coming out. Dave, what do you think? Better than Jurassic City, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And like I've said, we've already had people close to the set who have claimed that Jurassic City was not going to be the title because, to be honest, it was ridiculous.
Well, it'd be a stretch with what we're going to talk about soon with all the stuff Frank Marshall's been putting on Twitter. Not a city to be seen anywhere. But it's... I have the same little grumble as I did when Dominion was announced. Okay, it's going to be Dominion. Okay. Rebirth for something that's the 7th movie in a series. Keeping the Jurassic World title, which is probably a good thing just with how much they've spent on marketing and getting the Jurassic World brand out there. I don't think, unless it was going to be a period piece, this was ever going to be a Jurassic Park 4. Even with kept coming back and writing it. Again, we'll get to that shortly. Well, wait and see. Again, without spoiling from some stuff I do know from behind the screens, behind the scenes. Not quite sure how this ties in. Yeah, anyway. Jurassic World Rebirth, Dave. What are your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll reserve judgment until I actually see the movie. The title could make sense actually with the movie and couldn't just be something that they picked for rule of cool. If it is something they picked for rule of cool, I mean, it's kind of like, why? You know? But like I said, I'm gonna wait on this one. I'm gonna let it ruminate.
Yeah. It's I haven't been actively searching for stuff behind the scenes, apart from, and we'll mention here, I suppose, the Frank Marshall Instagram pics he's been putting up from filming in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Generic. There's one here with him sitting on a drum or something under a big pipe or tank. That could be just infrastructure. Same with there's been a couple of photos of boats or people on a river going past a dock and that. All that sort of stuff. That's not set. That's something that existed before the film went there. Whether they're using it for the film. I think the first image we've seen of that bar as well in Thailand to say shooting was about to start or whatever. It could be something in the movie. It could be just a staging place for the cast, for crew. One of the photos he posted was there's been a couple on the beach. They've been doing a lot of filming offshore and in caves and using that beach as a staging area to get everyone together and then onto the boats to go into these caves and sections of the ocean to film on, or the bay at least anyway. So,
well, I know that just about everybody, every time one of these new movies have been made, or said, Sorna? And I gotta admit, some of these pictures are definitely doing it for me. Like this one with on the back of the boat with the pine trees along the beach. Sorna?
Yeah.
Or again, the one with Frank Marshall sitting there next to that concrete pillar with whatever that tank is that's leaning on it. Sorna? I mean, you gotta admit, it does look pretty. I mean, they don't just choose these locations randomly for no reason. And this one where it definitely has fog effects, they're being used. Because you can see kind of in the background behind one of the palm trees is the source for the fog effect in this photo.
Yeah, yep.
But then there's also this other one here where it could, again, it's just a picture of the beach and looking out onto all these little satellite islands. That one I'm feeling less Sorna about, but it's still very pretty. Like, I would vacation there, honestly.
Yeah, or more so just the shape of the rocks.
I quoted the first chapter of the very first novel, Almost Paradise.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Oh, and then again, there's this another one here of all the crew trucks parked in this spot over here, and you can see all these, like, kind of piney-looking trees here. Sorna?
It's
funny because we've pretty much done that every single one of these movies, but this one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could not be Sorna at all. It could just be the island that.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that shortly as well, because it seems like a big backflip if they wanted Universal or Colin, whoever wanted to get away from the islands. We've got to get these animals out in the mainland, do all the mainland stuff, and we've talked about this before, and then have it back in a secluded area in the Dolomites for Bison Sanctuary. We did get that little one sentence reveal you referenced then about the island. 3 adults and 3 kids get stuck on the island, and that's got, again, fans speculating: are we going back to Sorna? Are we going back to Nublar? Not so much sets, but just the locations that Frank's been taking the photos in is, as you said, is just stop it. You're getting the hopes too high here. Personally, I think, air quotes, the island, I reckon it might be just a name of a facility or a location. Not really similar.
Whenever I hear somebody say the island, it reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons where the Simpsons get stuck in this cult, and when Homer gets sent to some random island, then he escapes and finds out he's been replaced by a robot. It was very wild.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I can't remember. It might have been one of those Treehouse of Horror episodes. I can't remember.
Yeah, sounds like it. I'm about to get rid of my Disney Plus subscription, so I'm about to start the Simpsons rewatch quickly before I cancel that. So I'll look out for that one. But yeah, the speculation running wild about Nublar or Sorna.
Speculation for the location. I know there has, of those aforementioned leaks, there were certain details could be seeing at least Costa Rica or somewhere thereabouts.
And I'll be plenty happy if we're at Costa Rica now, if we're going to the mainland there, because it was meant to happen. We had the hint at the end of the first novel. We had it all through the Lost World novel. Most of it, all of it dropped for the film, but even when we see the Pteranodons fly away at the end of JP3, well, I was assuming, they're going to Costa Rica. So even though we know later on that all changed, but yeah, I'd really hope that what we're seeing here, and it looks like Costa Rica, that you got that jungle. It looks fantastic. So filming has wrapped in Thailand. They've been over there for the last couple of weeks doing all the filming there on locations. Some stuff in the jungle, some stuff out in boats, or as I said, on the bay, and in caves and that sort of thing. It's now moving to Malta, and when I say Malta, don't expect scenes like we got in Dominion. There's some massive water tanks and a big blue screen's been set up there, because apparently a lot of this, or there's going to be a lot of this film that's taking place in water. We can only speculate there, but there was a dinosaur list posted online somewhere. Personally, I did not see it, but I've heard of some of the animals that were on it, or dinosaurs that were on it. Apparently, we are getting some aquatic animals in this film, and the mosasaur is back. So, if we're filming in water, we might be getting Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, Jurassic SeaWorld or something. I don't know how that would line up with the island as well, unless, yeah, okay, we can only speculate there, and I don't think I can without, well, I'm not worried about spoiling, I don't want to get hopes up and everything else of having all these new animals in the film. plus the issues that are going to come along with that, because we know from Jaws, animatronics in the water. Oh, Spinosaur did it, I suppose, and T-Rex did it, so maybe we can have actual animatronics working in the water now, but most of it, if we are getting the Mosasaur in that, it's probably all going to be CG underwater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have not had any set leaks of any animatronics yet, so either they're not taking them to on-location places, or they're not going to have any, period. So I was hoping with the success of Dominion, they would bring more of them back, but who knows?
Yeah, well, even like even the leak stuff we got out of Thailand, because we got all the Atrociraptor just to stand in heads and stuff. We got a lot of that in Malta for the Malta stuff that was being filmed, that was all leaked there. Well, I think Colin actually posted a couple of photos of him too at one stage when they were later on filming. But
yeah, he did. Well, I think he ended up posting the picture of himself with the Pyroraptor.
Yeah. So surprisingly, no one, either there was just none on site in Thailand at all, or no one was able to get shots of him.
Mm-hmm.
And you say possibility of no animatronics. It's possible, I suppose. Hopefully not. We know how good Gareth is with visual effects and that does include some stand-in practical stuff. So again, I just have this sick feeling in my stomach about how sudden his coming on as director. Everything already in line before he started, and how much control he's actually going to have, or how much influence he's going to have on this film.
Yeah. Well, like we said when we first heard about him joining on, the script was already solid. The script was locked in when he was brought on. He wasn't even the first choice, I think they said. Didn't they have somebody before him, and then they're like, he turned him down, and then they got Gareth Edwards, and we're like, yeah.
Well, David Leitch had been announced as the director.
Yeah. And we were all kind of like, eh. And then I kind of wonder if they only put that leak out, if they let that only said David Leitch because they wanted to gauge fan reaction, for like a future project with him.
Or even just someone had jumped the gun. They might have been in talks with him, but over here, Barry's been talking to Gareth in the background, and he's just waiting to hear back to see if things line up before confirming one way or another. And then someone's just grabbed the David Leitch thing, going, "Oh, it's going to be David Leitch." When Universal probably behind the scenes, that's not what we're doing. We're waiting to hear from Gareth first, and not because Universal's been very quiet. Apart from the release date, we've pretty much got nothing. I think we mentioned this last news episode as well. Everything that's been coming out is all being reports from various internet sites. Or now that filming's finished in Thailand, Scarlett Johansson and some of the other actors have come back to the States and are doing the. I think she's just done the press tour for Fly Me to the Moon, and I've seen a few interviews she's done on TV shows and that there. Again, saying how much of a Jurassic Park fan she is. She had the Jurassic Park tent, all this stuff. No one's mentioning The Lost World or the rest of the franchise. It's all Jurassic. So another reason why I don't think we're going to see Sauna anywhere near this film. As much as it's been left alone over the last trilogy, it could come back, and it should come back. And I think Star Wars films, you have to... I'll say it. Star Wars films, you have to have a lightsaber and a space wizard and maybe a pirate. Jurassic films, they have to be on an island. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. But it's the same. Dom always has his charger. Rexy's always got to be on the island. But yeah, and on the topic of David Koepp, the fandom really needs to stop jumping on the wow, David Koepp's the saviour, coming back to the franchise, coming back to writing, acting as if he the man just disappeared and stopped working after The Lost World. He done Indy 5 last year. There's been some other questionable films as well. He had some great dialogue, especially in The Lost World. Some of the banter between Ian and Eddie and all that sort of stuff was absolutely fantastic and makes that film. But there's some bad stuff in those films as well. Him removing a lot of the stuff we got from the Lost World novel. The famous having the compies up straight away with Kathy on the beach because of the fan letter that he got. All that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm just hearing hearing a lot of praise for Kep, even though yeah, I don't see it as a savior returning. Not as much as if Spielberg had come back to direct, which I think the movie sort of nearly needed, just to have people take it a little bit seriously. But yeah, is there anything else you've seen about the film that we can discuss that's not spoilery? I will just mention, normally for Fallen Kingdom Dominion, by about this point, we'd got a pretty detailed paragraph of what the plot actually was. Fallen Kingdom's changed slightly. I think it said there was going to be 8 ships getting dinosaurs off the island, and in the end we only had the Arcadia that we seen, and we speculated whether or not there was more ships there, but the one for Dominion was pretty much what we got plot-wise for the film. That leak hasn't come out yet. Also, with the release date being July next year, all 3 films we had some sort of teaser by the Thanksgiving weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're going to have something together, whether it's a teaser for Thanksgiving this year as well, to give us our first look at what the film's going to look like. Again, it's all more speculation.
I think we pretty much covered it for now without getting too much into it, just to be on the safe side, you know?
Yeah. Do you reckon we're going to get a trailer or a teaser in November?
If not November, then probably Super Bowl. Definitely, probably Super Bowl.
I think the Malta stuff, because they're filming there. I think they're filming there until October, so that's going to be tight for any of that sort of stuff to be able to be at a level where you could release it in a teaser. Because we know, especially the Marvel films, we know from films that are effects heavy, those first couple of trailers normally some questionable effects in them, just to get something out without having the effects finished.
I remember I just saw one today that I think it was called Continental Split or something like that. It's really dumb. It's the New Madrid fault line that runs through the middle of the United States is suddenly gonna start producing really bad earthquakes, and they gotta stop the earthquakes. But the trailer for it, like, it is still in previs. Like, you could like there was one shot of a Black Hawk helicopter, and it was like worse than video game. It looked like they had one of those making of videos where they're inserting the CGI effects. You're watching them insert the CGI effects into the frame, and somebody just paused at mid insertion.
Wow.
And said, "Yeah, that'll make a great trailer clip." I mean, you could argue that it's always been like that, even like with Star Wars.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they don't depend on the effects for the trailer. Like Star Wars had a couple quick glances of people swinging lightsabers. They didn't have the effects finished yet. But at the same time, nobody knew what a lightsaber was even supposed to look like. People know what a Black Hawk helicopter is supposed to look like.
Yeah, it's a bit different there.
And they know what it's supposed to look like on screen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's it. If it's only a 30-second teaser, have some of the characters walking through the jungle. I sort of come back to the teaser we got for Jurassic Park 3, which was just that the camera going through the jungle, and even the one for the Lost World too, if there's something that survived.
And all it was like really mostly just quick flashes and some mild effects. Like for the Lost World, they had a practical they had like a little miniaturized T-Rex foot that they just stomped down into the mud.
Yeah.
And then the rippling turned into the logo.
Yep.
And for Jurassic Park 3, like you said, they had quick shots from the movie of like ferns and stuff smacking into the camera, and then like lightning flashes, and you see some random part of an island, and it's just like quick, not even half a second that you see it. And it's like I said, it's not at all effects dependent.
Mm-hmm. And from memory, that was on the '98 2-pack release, which was the first DVD I ever got of Jurassic Park and the Lost World with all the bonus features on there. I'm pretty sure that teaser was on that DVD 2-pack, which just tells me they went out and filmed some second unit or right. Someone filmed that before they pulled the Hunters set down or something, or the cliff top set with the RV. Someone's just gone and done some filming through the foliage they had there at night before all that got pulled down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, ScarJo in her outfit, or whoever's involved in Thailand, walking up a path, walking through the jungle. It won't be the music from the film. We normally get the trailer music in place there, but it'll be a little bit of dialogue, and that's all. That's all you need as a teaser. We don't need to see Rexy on a helicopter or being flown to this new island from the Dolomites because she's got to be in this new film or anything like that. Which small side note, guilty pleasure Below Deck. One of the seasons, or Below Deck Med, they've been over and they've been to Malta. I'm under the impression in Dominion that Malta was up the top of Italy, at the top of the boot, because the Dolomites are up more of that, but it's way down in the Mediterranean. It's nowhere near.
Yeah. It's a Mediterranean country. It's very pretty, actually.
Yeah, but once again, we've got an issue with people in Michaelia, whatever her name was, the pilot. That dinky old plane being able to fly a lot further than what it actually is in the film. Because I could have sworn when they're at the airstrip, maybe doing the Maisie thing, we look past Siona Santos and you see the Dolomites in the background. But I might be imagining that. Anyway, I thought Dominion suggested that...
you see some mountains, but I don't think it was the Dolomites.
Yeah, I thought Dominion was suggesting that the Dolomites Malta was up the top of the boot anyway, not way down in the Med, but that's a little tangent over. Anyway.
I think what they have to remember with like trailers and stuff, and teasers especially, is that, and this is something that Ricardo Delgado has been posting on his Facebook, horror is simple. And what Delgado was posting was just like pictures of a guy dressed in all black, and all you see is his eyes and a grinning face, and he's like sitting in the corner of a room, it's like a dark room, and like I said, the eyes and the face, because everything else is black, looks almost kind of like it's floating. And that's all you really need. It's very simple. For Jurassic Park, I don't even think they even showed any of the dinosaurs in that very first initial teaser. I think they just showed a close-up of the mosquito. Like, I think the camera just closing into the mosquito.
Yeah. Homework for next time. I think we need to have a look at the creator, see if we can find a teaser for that on YouTube. Just get a bit of a feel. But then... It might have different editors and that on this too, so it might not be the same. But
not only that, but directors actually have very little control over what gets shown in a trailer. If the directors had more control, you'd see a lot less.
Yeah.
I know the Comic-Con trailer for Godzilla, which circulated online, was very popular. It was the Oppenheimer quote over the what is that? Not also Brock's Zathura, is the other one from 2001: A Space Odyssey, the growing choral noise, where it's just them going, ooh. It's just that growing over that's under the Oppenheimer quote, and then you get a visual of just a smashed train, some kind of random monster that wasn't even in the movie lying dead in the middle of the rubble, and you get this slow pan up Godzilla's spines, and then you see him roaring, and you see the shockwave coming out of his mouth, moving the dust from the rubble that is rising up in the air. And it's very effective. Like, it's almost kind of oversells the movie in a way, because the final movie wasn't really like that. But it's just, I get goosebumps every time I think of it, because it's just so well done. Sometimes I'll just go back and watch that teaser just for the heck of it, because it is such a well done teaser.
Didn't we get one as well that was just the Halo jump? Again, it was that sort of choral music, yeah, and then just the sky and the red flares coming through the cloud.
Mm-hmm. And you can see Godzilla. You can see this. All you see is a first person shot that's very similar to the one in the movie, where you hear that music, you hear the person breathing in through his mask, and through the flashes you can see Godzilla fighting the monster in the background of the city. It's very, like you said, it's very effective.
Hopefully, because we need something like that to get the hype up for this film. For the general crowd, I mean, not for us fans. Like, we're pretty hyped for what we're going to get anyway. But I think that's it, Dave. That is it for the month. I don't think there's any other news we've missed.
I'm sure something will come out.
Next 10 behind the scenes, we've got some issues going on at the moment. Dave, you're about to go on holidays again. I've just got back from holidays and got some other things going on. So we're in a small holding pattern or hiatus with the Fallen Kingdom Minute at this time. This news is coming out this week. It may be a couple of weeks before we get back to the minutes, so just stand by, bear with us. For some reason, maybe it is because of the new movie, I'm not sure, but uploads on the Lost World Minute have skyrocketed. There's a lot of people that have gone back and started listening to the old episodes. If you're doing that and listening to this as well, we're sorry. we're learning how to podcast back then, but we did cover some great stuff in the Lost World series. So hopefully you'll listen to the new stuff as well. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else on that. So Dave, that's it for July. How about we get heavy for the month?
All right, sounds good.
All right, lovely.